Hey Fae folk, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a bit of a doozy because we are ranking every princess Barbie and I'm already tired just saying that. So this is like a ranking video that I've kind of been putting off doing. I've ranked so many other different like dolls and different categories of Barbies, and I've put off doing Princess Barbies because there are so many that it's like very overwhelming, but like also, I had to do this eventually, right? Plus, some of you guys have been asking for it. So today I'm tackling the big bad, all of the Princess Barbies with like several caveats. So I do apologize. I just have some extra things to get through in the intro. I wrote them down because I definitely would forget them otherwise. So first caveat, I'm not including any of the Dolls of the World Princess Edition Barbies, despite the fact that I love that line with my entire heart and soul. The main reasons are because they are like partially cultural Barbies. Like, yes, they are princesses, but they are also representative of different cultures. And so, one, I don't want to like be judging different cultural outfits on aesthetics because like I might think it's not pretty, but it might have some sort of significance. So that doesn't really feel fair. And then also, I'm not personally educated on every single one of those cultures, so I wouldn't really be able to tell if it's accurate or appropriate representation. So that just feels like something that's not really like a thing that I can appropriately tackle, which stinks because like I kind of would like to rank those dolls just because I want any excuse to talk about them, but I don't think that I would be able to do it justice and do it like fairly. So we're not including any of them. There were some like Disney branded Barbies, like this gets complicated, okay? So we are going to be seeing some dolls in the ranking today that's like Sleeping Beauty Barbie, but it is completely separate from Disney's Sleeping Beauty. So we are including those, but there are ones that were like Disney collaborations where it is specifically Belle from Disney's Beauty and the Beast or like Snow White from Disney's Snow White. I'm not including those just because I do feel like since they come from the Disney IP, they're sort of separate. Like the design is kind of locked into place to a certain degree. So we're just not including those to keep it easy. I'm not including any dolls that I have already done in another type of video, or at least like I tried to avoid including any of those. I can't remember every single doll I've ever talked about, okay? But things like, I know there was the Angel Princess. I did a video where I ranked all of the Angel Barbies, and like I talked about her in that video, so I'm not going to talk about her again in this video. I'm almost done, I promise. I'm so sorry. There are so many Princess Barbies, okay? From movies, that's like a big one. So I am familiar with some Barbie movies and I am unfamiliar with others. So with the Barbie movies, I decided I was only going to do the main characters slash characters if they were a princess. So if like the antagonist of a Barbie movie is also a princess, I wasn't including her. Okay. I understand like that might be a little bit of a cop out on my part. I also didn't look up the main characters for movies that I wasn't sure of. I kind of just used context clues on the database. And like I fully understand that that might be frustrating to some of you guys, and I am really sorry. I don't want it to come across like I don't care. It's not that. It's just like from my perspective, I already melted my brain once going through like 50 plus pages of a Barbie database to find all of these Barbie princess dolls. And I'm about to melt my brain for a second time ranking them all, and then I get to do it a third time editing this video. And like it is fun, but it also is like numbing at some point, right? And so I just genuinely like could not be bothered to include like every single princess from every single movie, or to look up every single character to see if they're a princess or if they're just in a movie that involves princesses. I couldn't do it. So I'm sorry if that bothers you. I understand. Feel free to voice your frustrations kindly, but I just couldn't do it. So yeah, only the main characters. And for the 12 Dancing Princesses specifically, I only included Genevieve because in general with these videos, I don't include any like Kellys, like any younger Barbies or like Skippers or anything like that. And like I know there are other princesses that are full-size Barbies, but again, I just did Genevieve. I just did like the main princess because I do not have it in me. I'm sorry. Last two things to say. I didn't include color variations for the most part. At least I tried not to. Again, there's an entire possibility that like the first Barbie that I picked had a color variation that I included later on, because after I click on 40 dolls, at a certain point I'm gonna forget. Like it's just gonna happen. I did include some variations where it was very clearly like, oh, this doll is like the blue variant in a long dress, and this doll is the purple variant in a short dress, where there is some design variation in addition to the color variation. But I tried to not include really too many that are like it's a complete recolor. And then lastly, I'm definitely missing some. There's absolutely no way I got every single one, despite the fact that I was trying like sort of my hardest. Like outside of the ones that I have intentionally missed, I'm sure that there are just others that I just flat out missed, whether that's because I like got a little glazed in the eyes as I was scrolling through the database and just like whoop past it, or if I just didn't happen to see it in that database, like maybe it's an incomplete database, whatever the case might be, I'm probably missing some. I'm sorry. So I think that's everything that I need to get out for the intro, outside of my typical disclaimer that these are just my opinions. You are obviously free to disagree with me as long as you can do so politely. But this is going to be a really long video, and I know this has already been a really long intro, so let's just get started. I'm kind of scared. Alrighty, so as per usual, for my rankings, I'm using Procreate in the tiers that we have today. Some of them are a little bit themed. At the top, we have Princess Perfect, low-hanging fruit. It's an easy pun. Then we have Very Good, Acceptable, Getting Questionable, Ew, and Royally Messed Up. I also literally just now had the thought that this would have been way more tolerable and probably way funnier if I had taken an edible before doing this. But at this point, that's going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours to kick in if I take it now. And like, I'm not waiting that long to finish filming. So we're not doing that today, but if you want to see me rank something else while I'm a little intoxicated, let me know in the comments, because I think that would genuinely be super funny and probably a lot less daunting. Anyway, though, we're starting out with the Endless Hair Kingdom Barbie. You know, we're not starting out necessarily great, but it still could be worse. There are definitely ones worse than this. I also have to like, okay, I have to lock in. I cannot talk for 3 minutes about each doll. Like, I have got to be chill. So looking at this one, I'm gonna get a little red color so I can circle things here. Number one thing I noticed, yes, she has molded on top. So many of these do. We're just going to have to move past that. Like, obviously, I'm not going to, like, be loving it, but I'm not going to point it out every time. I hate the fact, though, this is the wrong brush. Incredible. There we go. I hate the fact that here she has a molded on waistband that is like a bow. So she has like a belt basically molded in, but then also her skirt obviously has a waistband to it to like keep all the skirt fabric together. The double waistband really cheapens the look. There's glitter, which is cool. I don't really know. She's going in Getting Questionable, which might be a nice ranking. I might get meaner as things go on, but this is how we're starting. Then we have the Winter Princess from Barbie, and Barbie did like a weird amount of princess themed dolls that are like also very holiday, winter, Christmas adjacent. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Like, I don't know why that is the case. But we have this one, and I'm gonna be honest, like, she's not giving princess. I think the problem is that because Barbie does holiday Barbies every single year, I see this, and this is just a holiday Barbie to me. There's no princess to this. Like, she doesn't even have a crown. There's not enough differentiation to me between this and a holiday Barbie. So like, she's not ugly. She's just not striking. I do think that the fabrics that they've chosen are nice. Y'all know I'm a sucker for velvet. Her headpiece that she does have is really pretty. It looks like she's got like some pearl situation going on up here that I'm not quite sure how that's supposed to lay. Like, she's definitely not an ugly doll. I just don't know if I'm getting princess vibes, so I'm going to put her in an acceptable. She would rank higher if this was a holiday Barbie ranking, but it's not. 1997. Okay, there are some elements that I like. I like the fact that we've got different layers to the skirt, different fabrics. That's super cool. Love me a good puff sleeve. But the the jewelry really cheapens this look. I don't think that the bow here is doing her any favors, especially with this little like cheapy looking gem in the middle. But like, especially the necklace and the crown, that looks kind of like hot garbage. But her dress is pretty and like the face is cute. So I think all together that's gonna get to bump her up to an acceptable level. 2001, just princess. I want to like this ruffle neckline, and I do believe that out of box you could make it lay nicer than this. So I'm giving her like the benefit of the doubt there. However, this is not enough of like a poof skirt for me. I do not like the inclusion of the ribbed floral fabric underneath like the corsetting detail. I think you can get away with a floral, and I think you could maybe get away with solid ribbed fabric, but looking at this in 2025, like I understand this was made in a different time. Looking at this in 2025, this just feels very like very, very casual wear, like kids casual wear especially. I feel like rib texture on like fashion is just something that I see so often, and I especially see it a lot in like TikTok shop ads or like Shein ads, that sort of thing. So I'm not saying it's always shitty, but like I do think that part of me kind of associates it with cheaper clothing, and then adding on the cheap-ish, like young-ish fabric print or floral print. It's not really helping. That takes away a lot from her. She has a metallic crown though, so that's cool. I think we're gonna put her in getting questionable. She just doesn't have the vibes that I want. I don't really know. I'm not going to be able to take the time to like justify all of my choices in this video because this will be fun. This will be fun. Look at all that. I have to do all of that. So I am sorry if I'm like talking really fast, but I have to. I literally have to. This video cannot be longer than an hour. That's my limit. This is the Princess and the Pea Barbie, and she is absolutely gorgeous. This hair, the length, the texture, the like detail up in here. I know it's kind of a bad stock photo, but and the dress, stop it. Stop it. She's so pretty. This, I feel like, is a much better rendition of a floral print. It doesn't look so childish. It's not on the ribbed fabric either. I just really like this. I think she has an interesting silhouette where it's sort of a drop waist, but it's like not a straight across drop waist. She's a vibe. She's gorgeous. She's going in princess. Perfect. Another example of the weird Barbie obsession with making wintry themed princesses. This is the Snow Princess Barbie. And like, I fully recognize that she also doesn't have the crown. And I critiqued the other one for not having that and like was like, oh, she doesn't look like a princess. I'm sorry. This one just looks more princessy to me. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because it's less practical for the weather. And in my head, I'm like, obviously like a princess could have like super nice thick fur coat, like that also makes sense, but in my head I'm like, well, a princess doesn't have to go outside, like she can just sit inside where it's like warm and cozy by the fire. So having less like coverage, less fur and everything somehow makes it feel different to me. I don't know, I'm honestly talking out my ass. But I really like the skirt. I have just started, but like I've preemptively lost my mind. I really love the skirt though. I think that the fabric that they've chosen and the way that these sequins have been applied, y'all know sequins are real hit or miss for me. I think this is done so, so beautifully. I will say that all of the feathering up here, questionable. The earrings are gorgeous though. The feathers are the only thing keeping her from being imperfect. She gets to go into very good. Okay, Jewel Princess, despite the name, this is still giving very holiday Barbie vibes, and I personally am just not the biggest fan. I do think that like this level of volume can be fun in terms of like the shoulder and like there's volume kind of at the hips and then there's more volume with the skirt. Like I'm not opposed to that silhouette where it is very dramatic everywhere, but I will say I think having a big hat on top of all of that and having big hair, like there's no part of this Barbie that doesn't feel overly padded out. And so because of that, because of the lack of contrast, her face looks so tiny and just awkward. I'm putting her in getting questionable. I'm sorry. Like I know she has better quality than some of the other dolls that we already see there and are going to be seeing there, but she just doesn't look princessy at all to me, and like I don't really think her design was well executed. The Ethereal Princess. Now she's pretty. She's a good one. I really do like this. Again, we're seeing a way to incorporate the florals that doesn't look so weird and like childish to me. I really like how that's just little creeping flowers up from the bottom. The huge dramatic sleeves, like we've got almost a cap sleeve here, but then sleeves that trail down from that. Absolutely gorgeous. The crisscross. Heck yeah. And she does have a crown. It's kind of harder to see just because of like the hair and the stock photo, but she does have a crown, which certifiably makes her a princess doll. She's going into perfect. All right, next up we have the Evening Star Princess. This one is like in a line with a couple of other dolls that I just didn't put in order because At this point, do you really expect this to be an organized video? But she is like related to a couple of other dolls that I will point out when we get there. She's not my favorite, mostly because of this fabric. If you've been here before, you know that I just think there's almost no way to make this fabric look good, especially on doll scale. Like, I think this is ugly 80% of the time on human scale. And it looks even more ridiculous on doll scale to me. Like, I just think it immediately cheapens the look because everything else is so fun. Okay, I love a good star theme, a good celestial theme. The length, the sheer length of her hair is incredible. I like the star, like, in her hair, the top of her dress and everything. Like, there's so much good here. The belt, amazing. This fabric, though, is just, oh, it immediately makes it so much cheaper. It makes me so sad. So she's going to go into very good because I can't put her in perfect with that atrocious sequin fabric. Next up, we have the Sugar Plum Princess, which, like, I know at some point in my life I have seen the Barbie Nutcracker movie. It's been a minute though, and I don't think I've ever seen the ballet proper, or like I don't really know that much about it. But I didn't know that the Sugar Plum Princess was the thing. Like, I've always heard Sugar Plum Fairy. I did not know Sugar Plum Princess, but it's literally right here on the box. So she gets to be counted. And she's gorgeous. Okay, we all know that older Barbie movie dolls were top tier, just absolutely incredible in terms of the detail. She's got articulation, the layers, the different fabrics and everything. Like, she is gorgeous. I lament that this is not the current state of Barbie movies or Barbie movie dolls, but she gets to go into perfect at least. A princess doll from 1999. The, something about the way her face has been printed looks bootleg. Like, she's in a Barbie box, but this looks bootleg. The dress, though, I do think is very pretty. I would like for it to be more voluminous, but this is clearly like a slightly more budget doll than like some of the other ones that we're seeing. I do really like the fabrics and the shape and everything, though. This feels very much like something that I would see someone wearing at a Renaissance festival, and I love the Ren Fest so much, so I think I'm getting really positive vibes from that. However, because of the lack of poof in the skirt and also the weird face, I think I'm going to have to put her in acceptable. I would like to put her higher because I really do like some of the other parts of the dress, but like, yeah. All right, this is a Princess Palace playset. We're not really taking a look at the playset or the infant here, but there is a Princess Barbie. And this one hurts because I don't know like the technical term for it because I'm just not smart like that. Like, I just don't know it. This way that it's like ruched and like draped on the top layer of the skirt, I think is very pretty, and it does very, very much give princess. I can even accept this portion of the top. I also know this is a terrible photo. I apologize. The sleeves, though, they fit weird. They're not quite like flared sleeves, at least from what I can tell from this image, but they also don't fit tight to the arm. It's just kind of an awkward thing to see, especially with the mesh. Like, I love mesh sleeves, but this feels like the worst way to do it. And I also just think that the fabric underneath that top layer of the skirt looks really bad and cheapy. Yeah, the more I look at her, the less I like her. She's going and getting questionable. This is the prettiest princess ever. No. I'm so mean. But listen, it literally, like, that's what she's called. That's what it says on the box. This is bad. This is so bad, y'all. Like, I know some people inherently hate this sort of almost cellophane-like material because it doesn't hold up well over time. Completely understand that. Me personally, I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts because I do think that it can be used in a really, really pretty way. This is not it. The puff sleeves in that material, it literally looks like a shiny garbage bag. I'm so sorry. The crown is just like a lot going on here. This is, it's so bad. She gets to be the first one to go into royally messed up. Okay, Butterfly Princess. I wanted to like this so bad from the name. And then also, like, on the database that I was using, the first thing that I saw was that she has butterflies all over her skirt. And that was like kind of all I saw before I clicked and got a bigger image. And so I was so hopeful and so excited. And then I saw the rest of it and was like, oh no, oh no, this is not good. I do like that she has actual volume. I still do like the butterflies, even though I definitely think that when you look at them closely, they don't look as good as they do from afar. But like, she's got the layers, she's got the butterflies. The top half is inexcusable First of all, you're gonna give her a hair bow and not a tiara, even though this is allegedly a princess doll. Obviously, like I understand princesses don't always have to wear tiaras, but like if you're gonna give her a headpiece, it it needs to be more extravagant than a bow, in my opinion. That's just for me. And then I hate everything that's happening with the top half of her dress, from the print to the way the like puff almost sleeves are. It's not good. She's going an ew. Continuing right on with the Midnight Princess, I truly do not know what is going on here. Like, I don't know what the inspiration was, because some things, like the colors and like some of the way that the decorations are presented, makes me feel like it's supposed to be sort of referential to like Mardi Gras or something similar, but also I'm definitely not getting like the full vibe, like I just cannot place where she's supposed to be, and it's making things really confusing for me. I don't think that I like how it works out. Like, if this were swinging more in some sort of Mardi Gras or like general festival direction, like I think I could accept the mix of colors, but it's not swinging far enough for it to look right. But then she's also not swinging far enough in the princess direction for it to go that way. I just don't think that she really fits anywhere. That sounds so mean. Like, she's not the worst. I'm just super confused by this one. I think I have to put her in getting questionable, only because I really think that the theming needed to be more intense somehow. Then we have Liana from the Diamond Castle. So this is a movie that I'm not super familiar with. My apologies. Not vibing with the outfit. Also, this stance, like I fully realize this is just this stock photo, but like she's squared up. She's gonna fight you. I feel like I could probably take her. I think I could. She looks stiff. I think I'd be able to be squirrely. But yeah, like the outfit, it's just a no for me. I apologize. She's going in getting questionable because she at least has a good silhouette outside of like the pose. Then we have Barbie Dream Princess. This one, okay. I think at first this looks like, oh, what? At least to me. But then the more I look at it, the more I'm like, hold on. She has some redeeming factors. I do like the color. Obviously, we know that like a lot of the time Barbie goes like pink for princess, and that is perfectly beautiful too, but like it is kind of fun to see something different. So like this super bright blue I think is cool. We have an iridescent fabric, but I think it's used more effectively here, even though it's used for the puff sleeves. Like it's just a better type of fabric and it's done better. I the hair's a lot. I know that was like kind of the vibe for Barbie in general at this point in time, this era of Barbie. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if I'm like 100% sold. She looks like she has a little rosette situation on her waist, and I don't think I like that either. But she could be worse. All of that being said, my feelings literally were like that. I was like, ew, wait, that's not that bad. Now I'm kind of like, I should have trusted myself at first. I'm putting her in ew. Okay, next up, y'all already know I adore these dolls. These are the Princess and the Pauper dolls, Erica and Annalise. And I love this movie and I love these dolls and I'm very, very, very fortunate to have them. I still like cannot believe that I own these. These were very much a girl for me that I never thought I would get to have these dolls. And now they're in my collection and it makes me emotional. Obviously, they're going in perfect. There's not a single thing wrong with these designs. Okay, Magic of Pegasus. She's also like quite cute outside of the fur, like the fur feather situation. I just think it wasn't executed that well, but I do think the Barbie herself looks pretty good. The dress is like relatively simple, but I think it's effective in its simplicity. Like it looks intentionally simple rather than it looking like it's a budget issue simple, if that makes sense. I also really am digging the staff accessory. Like that's pretty sick. I'm gonna put her in very good just because again, that fur like feather situation, I can't quite tell what it is. It threw me off, but it could be worse. Forest Princess. I want to like this so bad because like the idea of a forest princess is right up my alley. Princess, I'm thinking big ball gowns, extravagant outfit, and like shiny jewelry. And then forest, I'm thinking fairies, I'm thinking ethereal, I'm thinking mystical, whimsical fun. And this just doesn't really fulfill either of those. It doesn't feel fun to me. And while it is a ball gown skirt technically, it's not what I wanted, okay? It's just none of this is what I wanted. I do think it's adorable that she comes with like a whole book. That's super cute. But yeah, she's going to go into getting questionable, which is a tier that is rapidly filling up, which is a little alarming because we're pretty early in the video, but it's fine probably. This is my first princess, and I'm going to keep it real with y'all. If this was my first princess, it would be my last. Why are there 3 bows just tacked randomly to her dress? Like, I don't like this top one. I don't think it's executed well, but at least it kind of makes sense within the design. What is happening with these 3? What's going on here? I wouldn't even like it. Like, I still think it would be ugly if the entire skirt was covered in bows, but at least then it would feel like a choice. It honestly feels like the gimmick is, hey, here's some bows that you can stick wherever you want, and like a child just went and like it doesn't look right, but that's not even the gimmick. There's no imaginary child I can blame here. This is really bad. It's going in ew. The Island Princess. I didn't even write down her name. So there's that. Another movie that I'm less familiar with. I do really like everything from here up. That's all super, maybe minus the crown. I think the crown needs like a little bit more paint to be really top tier. But the details on her bodice are incredible. I like the sleeves. The peacock attachment I think is very fun. What is this? What are we doing here? Why does that look like cheap gift wrap? I'm upset by it because otherwise I think that she would really be a super fun doll. As it is, she's going to be put in acceptable. Ooh, okay. So this is where the I've literally forgotten, like Evening Star or something like that. This one, she's connected to these next 2. So this one is the Morning Sun Princess, and I do have this Barbie. I love her. She's so pretty. Like all of the gold, it's so shiny. The like jewelry accents are actually metallic, so they don't look like weird and cheapy. Like they're super nice. The hair is super long and soft. She's gorgeous. She gets to go into perfect. And then next to round out the trio is the Midnight Moon Princess. And I really want to like this, but I just don't. I think like I'm really going to go in on this one actually. I'm really sorry. Her neck is so long. Like I'm assuming this is just this stock photo, but it kind of looks like if you've ever tried to take off a doll head, it sort of comes in 2 stages, right? Like you'll like pull and it'll come off a little bit, but it'll still technically be on the neck peg. And it looks like this, where the neck is just like weirdly long. And then you have to like pull past the second barrier and then you can take the head off. Like it looks like she's halfway into getting her head removed, which is not a great sentence. I do love the headpiece. I think that's impeccable. My main issue is with this dress. And here's the thing is like, I think that this dress would look amazing, just so beyond on human people of so many body types. Like I feel like the typical like quote unquote standard for beauty, like skinnier or like an hourglass sort of figure would look amazing with this sort of dress. I think someone with like hip dips, oh my God, cute little hip dips in this sort of dress, like whoop, whoop, oh my God. That was like not a great drawing, but you know what I'm saying? A plus size person in this dress would look so cute. Like real human people, amazing. However, I think that the shape of the Barbie doll is like not working. And I do mean that not because of like her body type in terms of how she's replicating a human body type. I mean that in the very literal, like she's a doll sense, because like I can see what's happening with this Barbie, because obviously there have been Barbies of different body types, right? Like different bodies and different like shapes over the years. But with this one, I feel like you can literally see that she's one of those Barbies that sort of has hips that go out real suddenly. You know what I'm saying? Like some Barbies have like the waist that goes in and then there's not really a transition to the hip. It's like very artificial. And again, I don't mean that in a way that like, obviously not all people have like a waist that goes in and then goes out to transition smoothly to the hip. And I think that people look beautiful whether they have that or not, right? Like you can be a beautiful person regardless of the shape of the side of your body like that. But with Barbie, it doesn't look like any human shape. It just looks uncanny and like a little bit weird. It just feels very artificial. And because the dress is so tight, you can see it. And so that throws me off because it doesn't look right. All of that to say, I like the design, but like I just, this needs to be on a person, not a doll, for me personally. So she's in acceptable. Okay, next up is the Rainbow Princess Barbie, and like my biggest question is rainbow where? Because this is pink. She has multicolored butterfly clips, but this is pink. And also it's ugly. So it's going in royally messed up. Okay, so this is Genevieve. Like I said, she's the only one I'm including. I'm sorry. Like that's really all I have. Definitely not as high quality as some of the other Barbie movie dolls, but still a lot better than like some of the more recent Barbie movie dolls. I do think that she's got a lot of really nice elements. I think that this particular layer of the skirt is what's throwing me off. Something about the fabric and the shape of it just feels not quite right. Because, like, the ballet shoes are cute, the tulle under there is nice. I think that this top layer of the skirt could lay nicely were the middle panel different. Top portion is great, though. No notes really there. So I think she's going to go into very good because I genuinely think if you just changed out that one middle portion, she would be perfect. Sea Princess. I want to like this so much. Like, she's got an interesting hairstyle situation going on here, some pearl headpiece and like earrings. And I do think there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with the fabric, like the way that there's a seam here and then it kind of flares out and like it's asymmetrical. There's a lot going on that I think I like, but I just can't put my finger on what it is that I don't like. I think maybe for me, I think that ocean themed designs look really good when they're very maximalist. I want seashells and fishnets and pearls and layers and scales. Like I want everything. And I think that this area just feels really empty and also maybe like she needed some more jewelry or something. Also, it might just be the face, but like or like the stock photo. This is kind of scary. Let's be honest. She's gonna go and getting questionable. Even though I really love the concept and I want to like the doll, I just can't. Okay, that was weird. My thing just like glitched out for a second. Anyway, though, this is the Ma Ba princess. I don't know what that is. That was just what she was called in the Barbie database. I don't know if that's referencing a style or a person or what. I honestly don't know. So take this with a grain of salt. This is giving very like Vera Bradley to me. And I don't have anything like against Vera Bradley in general. I don't know anything about the designer or like anything. I just know that growing up, I went to a rather wealthy school, but like I was not wealthy. Like the difference in the socioeconomic status between me and my classmates was severe, actually. And I like vividly remember all of them having Vera Bradley like bags for everything, like pencil cases and like lunch boxes. I think I don't know if I'm making that up, but I feel like at one point they had lunch boxes or just like little bags that they carried around. Like, and I felt very left out. Okay, because as a child, you don't know anything about money and the economy and what's going on. You're just like, why can't I have that fun design that my friends all so I'm like a little about this one. I'm just kind of being a shit about it. Honestly, it's not that bad. I do think that the dress is the only interesting thing about her, and she desperately needed a fun hairstyle, a headpiece, or more jewelry. Because, like, taking aside my Vera Bradley memories, this is a pretty dress, but there's just nothing else to this, so we're gonna put her in acceptable. Okay, Sparkle Lights Barbie. I do think this is one that I included some recolors, and I don't remember if they were strictly recolors or if there were differences in the designs. I hope I got it right and there were differences in the designs. I like the concept of like the ombre ruffle skirt. I think that's kind of a vibe. I don't know. Am I already tired? I'm not far enough into this video to be tired. I think I'm tired. Like, I just don't feel anything. Like, I just look at her and I'm like, I don't care. Like, she's not the ugliest. I would not be like, this is a really beautiful doll. So I guess we're gonna put her in acceptable. That feels fair, I think. Okay, there were a few different Rapunzels. So this is just like a random Rapunzel Barbie. Definitely has the long hair, which is good. Again, I don't know if it's the stock photo or what is happening here. Why does she look like that? Like she looks scary. It's like it's not even this era either. Cause like I know there are other Barbies that were produced around this time that look good. She looks frightening. I do really love how they did the sleeves here. I think that's super fun using the fabric to kind of mimic the rose shape and then having the actual roses. The asymmetry, that's good. That's real good stuff. I like that a lot. The face is breaking her for me. I'm sorry, but she's going to go into very good because of that. Then another Rapunzel Barbie. I definitely like this one less. Like, she doesn't have the face issue, but I just ultimately think her dress is not as exciting. I think it's just the lack of flair. Like, seeing all of the volume up top, I'm like, she needs a big ball gown, and she's not getting that, at least in this image, and that's all that I can judge her off of. She does have a super fancy crown, though, so she gets points back for that. And it looks like it has some sort of gimmick to it where it, like, attaches to her hair somehow, so you can change the length of her hair. So I think she also gets to go into very good because the cool things sort of balance out with me not liking the skirt as much. And then we have the like Barbie movie Rapunzel version. So not just like a random Rapunzel, but like Barbie as Rapunzel from the movie. I don't know. I know this one also has a gimmick with the hair, which I do think is fun. I like this skirt better on this one, ironically, because we have actual volume, but I do think that something about this area feels like it's not fitting quite right. Like, it just feels very like loose and boxy and like not how she looks in the movie and like not how I imagine her to look. And I don't think I like the sleeves in this case. I don't know if this is controversial, but I'm putting her in acceptable. Okay, we're starting off a couple of Sleeping Beauties. I don't know if these are the only Sleeping Beauties or if there are more, because I feel like I remember seeing so many, but like I am fading away at this point, okay? Like, you might be able to tell. I am struggling. And I do not remember if there's just these couple or if there are more coming later. So, she has a musical pillow. Kind of interesting. I again like the what is happening with these Barbie faces? I swear to God, I've never seen Barbie faces like this. This looks like a bootleg. But whatever. We're just gonna let it happen. I like the dress until you get up to here. I think that there's too much happening there and like not in the way that I typically like it. She can go unacceptable, I guess. This is another Sleeping Beauty Barbie, and I have seen this one honestly every single time I have ever gone to a secondhand doll store or like secondhand toy store, or even just antique malls or whatever. I swear to God, I never stop seeing this Barbie, and she never gets prettier. This stock photo especially is really not helping. Her hair is fine, her face is fine, her headpiece is fine. This dress looks horrific on her. And like again, this one in particular, like this just looks so poorly fitted. So bad. It's not even that the fabrics are terrible. There's a lot of fabrics on here that I do like. I think there's too many roses and too many random weird places, especially like listen, okay? I know we try to keep things mostly family friendly here. This is fucking weird. Like, I'm trying to think of a nice way to put this, but there's really not a nice way to look at this doll and be like, why did they sew a flower right on her hoo-ha? Like, that's fucking weird. So there's that. But yeah, it's just ill-fitting. Outside of the base doll, I just heard my camera click. Snorts angrily. Y'all, I'm gonna lose at this video. Anyway, we're finishing this particular doll, the one sentence I had left to get out, without visuals of my face, which is probably fine, because it's fine, it doesn't matter, you don't need to see me. She's gonna go in getting questionable. The base doll saves her from being too low, but like, she's on thin ice. Hi, can you see me again? I sure hope so. Because if this footage gets deleted, I'm airing the video anyway, even if it's just a screen recording. So this is the Enchanted Princess. I wasn't ready. That was a jump scare. Why did that actually genuinely scare me? I don't know what's happening here. I'm desperate to understand what is going on in this area. Because this looks like fabric, but I don't know what it's attached to. And I don't know what that is, point blank, period. So we have a lot of questions. Getting questionable. Okay, this is the Rose Princess. Good God. Why does her hair look like that? It's so bad. I don't know if this is like a ponytail separated into three, like that could be fine. I don't know what the situation truly is, but in this photo, it really genuinely just looks like she has just three randomly placed uneven ponytails, as though, again, a child got at her. And the child has, like, honestly really good dexterity in terms of getting these sort of like bubbles. That's impressive. But no concept of where a ponytail might look good on the head. I don't know. There's obviously no actual child involved because this is the doll in a box. I'm so, I'm so losing it. I'm really scared. I'm going to scroll after this one and see how much we have left. I'm frightened. Yeah, I think the dress is ugly too. This is going in ew. Okay. I don't think you understand that I'm like genuinely nervous. Oh. We're like what? Halfway? Okay. The next. Okay, until we get to Sleeping Beauty. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next 6, rapid fire. I just need to get some of these out of the way. So 1979. This is like a Girl Scout pageant queen ? Not a princess. Royally messed up. 1998. Aggressively pink. Hate the skirt. Top isn't terrible. Ew. Princess and the Pop Star, I don't really care which variant you're looking at. These dolls are bad. And also, this is the objectively inferior version of Princess and the Pauper. So, like, I have to hate it by default. Is this justified? No. But, like, are they going in royally messed up? Yes. 2003. Doesn't look like it's fitting well. The base doll's nice. I like the fabrics. Getting questionable. Glitter Princess. Horrible stock photo. Not much better. I'm actually kind of glad I can't see it. Ew. Pretty Princess. She's definitely not that pretty. I'm really sorry. I'm like getting meaner, I feel like, for sure, but this is not good. Ew. All right, now I can talk a little bit more. These are 2 more Sleeping Beauty dolls that honestly look extremely similar, but they are different. And also, I just need to know, why are there so many Sleeping Beauty Barbies? Like, specifically that aren't branded for Disney. Like, there are a lot of, I saw, like, Belle specifically, so many branded Belles. Why are there so many unbranded Sleeping Beauties and not other princesses? I'm very confused. Looking at this, the fabrics are rough. The cut, I think, is good, but the fabrics are bad. Getting questionable. And I actually think I'm going to crop off a little bit of this right quick. I don't need to see all that. I don't have the room to see all that. So this is what I mean by this is like very similar. The colors are similar. They both have florals. The cut is different, and I do think the fabrics are better on this doll. Still not good necessarily. Like, I still feel like this is paper, basically, but it feels better, and I like the design better. I need to crop off some of this again, but I think she gets to go into acceptable. Peppermint Princess, we are back to the holiday theming, and like this one's aggressive. Okay, this truly is just a holiday Barbie, and not even a good one. Like, for a quote unquote peppermint princess, you're gonna give me stripes on the skirt and call it a day? That's the only thing even remotely pepperminty about her. She doesn't have peppermint jewelry. There's no swirl anywhere. Like, where's my swirly peppermint? Come on. That's honestly a little bit insulting. Like, she does have better fabrics than a lot of the others, but I'm personally affronted by this. I'm putting her in ew. 2000s. Oh, you know what? I've already done this. Now that I'm doing it all in a row, because it did take me, like, I had to keep taking breaks when I was preparing this because this is the state I get into. I've done this before. So instead of trying to find where I put her, we're just going to delete that one. And it's one less one that I have to worry about. This is Princess Sissy. I have no idea who Sissy is, but that's what she's called. I don't know the situation with this. I don't know the background. I can tell you I like her makeup. It's more dramatic than we usually see with princess dolls, like the dark lip. That's a vibe. She looks cute. I think I like everything except for the bows. That's sort of killing it. I just think everything else actually looks weirdly regal and like weirdly actually nice. A lot of the Princess Barbies look sort of costumey and like cartoony. This looks genuinely nice except for the bows. So she gets to go into very good. Sparkle lights. Okay, yeah. So we had a sparkle lights before, and this is definitely a very different silhouette. And actually, I need to go back. I'm not going to lie. This one, here's the thing. Because this little pink one down here is the other sparkle lights, and I'm going to move her high key. She doesn't deserve to be there now that I've had some time to ruminate on it. But looking at this blue themed one, I like it better. I think this is objectively a doll that I think is a prettier doll. However, I do think she is giving less princess. She's going to go into getting questionable. And then I'm actually going to move the other one down in there too, if I can find it. Ooh, I might have made a promise I cannot keep. Oh, dear God. Okay. Lock in. Lock in. Sparkle lights. Haha. I did it. Same tier, different reasons. And now there's like an empty space and acceptable. How fun. 2012. This is god awful. This is genuinely so bad. That's it. It's in ew. No, I lied. Royally messed up. I forgot ew wasn't in the bottom for a second. Also from 2012. Very, very similar. Not quite just a recolor though, because we do have different patterns and different sculpting on the molded on top. It's just as awful though, so that's also going in royally messed up. And then we have princess and pet dolls, which might be the cheapest looking ones we've seen yet. So that's cool. You'll never guess where they're going. I'm really relating to Erica from Princess and the Pauper in this moment. I feel like I'm being held captive in the dress shop, except it's not a dress shop. It's just ranking ugly Princess Barbies because so many of these are so bad. Tea Time Princess. I have two of them in the same image. Do I know why? No, I don't. I know they're ugly. They're going in royally messed up. I promise I'm not just like putting all of them there because I'm sick of this. Like I am thinking. I just don't like a lot of these. This is the Fairy-tastic Princess. Great concept. Extremely poor execution. Ew. This is the Cut and Style Princess. She does have like the hair pieces, and I do think that they're executed decently well. They don't look like complete garbage like some Barbie hair extensions do. I hate this skirt. I hate it so much. The way that you can see that this is like buckling inwards and it's just not how a skirt is supposed to look drives me high-key crazy. I will say that, like, maybe it's just because I do love glitter. I honestly think that the molded on tops, when it's just glitter glued to the doll, 10 times better than any other molded on top. But unfortunately, that skirt is yanking her all the way down to ew. Okay, these next several are the Bondi Star Princess line, which, like, is a collab with the name, kind of. It's right there. The Bondi with Barbie. So these do all look a little bit different. Like, they don't have, like, the typical American Barbie face mold, but they're still Barbie, and they're still called princesses, so we're still ranking them. I don't like... I will say I'm not a huge fan of these faces, so like that's not helping. It's the fur, man. I feel like they cannot get the fur right on these Barbies, and I can't see really anything else. I'm gonna put her in getting questionable. This next one, same line, obviously very different dress. Still don't like the face. I do think that I just almost said I do think that the dress, and then I got confused because I know I've said dress recently, and I don't remember what I said anymore. This is what I mean. Like, my brain really and truly gets fried doing these videos for a super long time, especially when they're not, like, all pretty dolls. I feel like it's less exhausting when it's, like, gorgeous doll after gorgeous doll after gorgeous doll. But when I'm just looking at really bad printed fabric for the most part, it's exhausting. Yeah, she's going and getting questionable too. I'm sorry. I'm running out of room. Okay. This is another one. I do think this is better. I like this fabric. I like the fact that it has a sheer element to it. Y'all know I like that sort of thing. The stars are cute in this one. She gets to go and fill up this space in acceptable. That was not the right button. More Bondi Star Princess. This one again, this one's a lot cuter. Like, I think this dress is just better. I really like the trim that they've got going on here. I think that's quite pretty and adds a lot to the skirt. So she gets to go into acceptable as well. And then last one. Yeah, that's bad. I'm gonna pop that into ew. Here's a Cinderella, non-branded. Obviously, this is very not Disney's Cinderella. Probably would have been better if it was, because this is rough. She has a full fabric dress though. So she gets to go into ew instead of all the way on bottom tier. Okay, this is Alexa from Barbie and the Secret Door. She came up when I looked up princess into the Barbie database, so I am truthfully just assuming that's accurate. My apologies if it's not. I think this is heinous. So it's going in royally messed up. Like, that doesn't say anything about the movie. I've never seen it. It might be a great movie, but like that doll is not the vibe. 2013. I ain't even gonna say it. You already know. Here's another Sparkle Lights. This one is straight up a recolor though. This is like the same as this pink one. Yeah, I'm just deleting this. This is the Princess Renaissance Barbie. This is the worst. Why did I even bother including this if this was the best photo that I could find? Really and truly past me, what were you doing and why do you hate yourself? I'm deleting this one too. I can't even judge that. I genuinely cannot even judge that. What am I doing? Here's another one, Princess Renaissance, that like you can at least sort of see the details on. Good God. I'm like mad at myself for that. This is actually not that bad. She gets to go into getting questionable because she looks still kind of cheap, but like it could be a lot worse. Okay, this is the Princess Charm School. I don't know her name. I'm assuming that I wrote it. Maybe I didn't. I know that in like the name implies that there are multiple princesses, like it's Princess Charm School, so I'm sure there were other characters that like are technically princesses, but we already went over this. I'm not including them. In part because what in the world is this dress? This is genuinely so bad. It's going royally messed up. Okay, here's the Evergreen Princess, which again is just like an unbranded holiday Barbie. Like, you cannot tell me that this was not just a holiday Barbie design that didn't make it to the final stages. Like, they chose a different design that year, and they're like, we can produce this one anyway. We'll call it the Evergreen Princess. This is a holiday Barbie. I do really like the sleeves. Like, the couple layers of ruffles. That's genuinely fun. It's fun. And I like her face and, like, her hair and everything in this one, too, actually. She's gonna go in acceptable. She would go in very good if she was a proper princess. This is royal dress up. I don't think I need to explain myself. Y'all know the vibes. This is Rockin' Royals, which I think, was that also a Barbie movie? I don't even know at this point. I can't remember. Both of these dolls are bad though, so royally messed up. That's also going to get full. I still have a lot. Okay. This is Princess Unicorn. Honestly, the horse is kind of sick. Unicorn, sorry. She does have a horn. Her name is literally Princess Unicorn. Whatever. That's cute. But unfortunately, this is not the part we're ranking. We're ranking this. And the Barbie looks like hot garbage. So royally messed up it is. Okay, Princess Power, also a Barbie movie, I think. I would be shocked if it wasn't. Just guessing here, but I'm assuming that this is a princess who also is like a superhero. I hate it. I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to be like this, but I think she's ugly. She's going in royally messed up. This is from the Princess Party, except this is also the Sparkle Lights Barbie, now that I'm seeing her. I think it's genuinely kind of hilarious of me that I made all these disclaimers and like all of these qualifications in the beginning of this video. And it didn't even matter in the end because I still goofed so many times over. We're deleting that one. This one's from 2016, and I wish I hadn't seen it. I am going to straight up run out of room because I can tell you there are some more that are going to go there. Gem fashion. Well, yeah. It's a doll that exists. If you listen real closely, if you rewind that little like sigh, you can actually hear my soul leaving my body. This is the candy fashion princess. You know what? At least she actually has candy on her, unlike the peppermint princess, but she's still really ugly. So we're just gonna like squeeze her in there. And I'm gonna do something. This is a first. I've never done this. I'm changing the size of this. Oh, I might have just okay. I was like, I know this has a lot of layers. I honestly was afraid for a second that I straight up would have just like frozen Procreate. Because I know I'm going to need it. I have never done that before. I have overlapped. I don't think I've ever extended the canvas size so that I can include more dolls in the bottom tier. So that's bad. But here's 2012 giving you an exact reason why I had to do that, because what? 2009, also genuinely atrocious. Like, what are we doing? What's happening here? Am I going to get a single doll that isn't in bottom tier? Like, is that the rest of the video? This is a modern princess. She's not beating the allegations. Oh no, I'm going to be really sad if I've already passed the last even moderately viewable doll. Oh no. This, I've ranked this before too. Goodbye. Okay, fairy tale princess. Honestly, the bubbles are kind of a vibe. But like, she's still going in bottom tier. Okay, this is a fairy tale assortment. At least, you know what? At least if you're sick of watching my shit, at this point, you can just stop. Like, you can turn off the video, because it's not going to get any better. This is the fairy tale with the vanity. This doll looks familiar, and I don't know if that's because I've ranked her, or just because I saw her, obviously, when I prepped this. She's bottom tier, though. The Endless Hair Kingdom. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? You know what? Actually, now that I'm looking at her, she does have like hair extensions that I find acceptable. The molded on top could be significantly uglier, and the skirt at least isn't the worst. I'm going to be charitable. We're putting her at ew, not bottom tier. Easter Princess. This is not pretty. I do like the butterflies. So I want to give her credit for that, except she's the Easter princess, and like, I don't have the energy to get into why I don't vibe with Easter, but I do not vibe with Easter. Bottom tier. Okay, thank God. We're almost done. I have found that there's just an ungodly amount of Dreamtopia Barbies in general. And a lot of the times I don't end up seeing all of them when I just go on the Barbie database. I don't know why. Maybe I'm blind. But I just looked up Dreamtopia on Google, found these 3 images, all of which have $4 each. And I was like, that's sufficient to represent the Dreamtopia lineup. It's not a good representation. So this is going to be real quick. I'll let you take that in for a second. I know it's $4, so I don't want to like remove it from your screen too quickly, but also I don't want to hurt you guys. So that's going in bottom tier. Don't worry. It gets slightly better with this next one because I do think the pastel colors help slightly. Not enough though. And then we get to round out the video with this eyesore. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. My camera died. So let me just pick this back up to conclude the video. I'm so tired. This is why I didn't, like, I was so hesitant to make this video and was like, I don't know if I have the strength. Clearly, I've been defeated. Okay? I have been bested by this princess ranking. They're awful. They're so bad. Like, we have some good ones. Barbie has historically been able to make princess dolls that are cute. However, given that I have essentially doubled the bottom tier from what I usually allocate in terms of space, this is bad. That's it. Well, at some point in the video, I said that I didn't want it to be over an hour, and I have an hour-long screen recording. So here's hoping that when I add on the intro and edit out the moments in between where I just sit and cry for a little bit. I'm kidding, that didn't really happen. But like where I'm just fiddling with layers or wherever. Hopefully we will be under an hour. I'm so tired. I should have taken the edible. This would have been a 3-hour video, but I would probably be less tired right now. Anyway, that's the Barbie princess ranking. Chaotic video. I don't really know what you expected though. Like, that's all I had to give. Let me know how you feel about these dolls. You probably can't let me know your least favorite because I'm sure there's a lot of them because, again, very negative ranking. But let me know your favorite. I think that that's like a nice, safe question for the comments. Y'all, I'm delirious. We're literally glasses off. I can't even itch my eyes because I have makeup on. I'm really tired. I'm never doing that shit again. Anyway, I can't see the camera and I feel weird about it. So glasses back on for the outro before I go take a nap. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that my suffering was funny for you. Let me know what else you want me to rank, but not anything like this. And let me know what you think I should rank while I'm high, because I do think that would be funny in like a different context. So yeah, that's it. I can't even do an outro properly. I genuinely feel like I have melted in the process of doing this video. So again, I hope it was fun for you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night, whatever it might be. And I'm gonna catch you in the next one after I recharge. Bye, guys.